Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christina at Homeschooling Grace, and today is another weekly update for week 13, and I'm super excited to share it with you. It was a very busy week, and yeah, it's just we have had, I'll have to insert a picture here. We are getting bunk beds for my kids, and so that has taken up our last 2 weekends. Which is awesome, but it's just been a lot of work. And then also, my oldest started basketball. Maybe I'll put another picture here for you to see. And so that's taken up more nights of the week. So we have been so busy. This is a very busy season. I was not anticipating that, but we're still getting stuff done during the day, but our night times and weekends have been like, there has been no Sabbath, and I will share that later on in the video, how sad that is. And so, but we're getting stuff done, and it's totally fine. We are a homeschooling family of 5 little women, and our primary curriculum, I guess, our core curriculum is My Father's World, and sprinkled all throughout it is a bunch of other curriculums that have worked for our family. I'm going to start with my 4th grader. So, Creation to Greeks. For this last week, she also has been learning about the 10 Commandments, which has been really cool for Bible, because I'm reading right along with her in my personal devotions, and she's reading it during school. I feel like it's helped. God has revealed new things to me that have helped me be able to teach her and show her different ways and understandings of the 10 Commandments. And it's really cool at the end of the week, they give you a little synopsis of what having God rule a country like this. So God gave them their laws, and He taught them how to live. And I just thought that was really cool that they share that, because I don't think I always thought about that. And it's been amazing how much I'm learning through teaching my children, especially now that my daughter's getting into the older grades. Or I shouldn't really say older, I mean she's still in elementary ages, but I'm learning so much more Bible, and I just think it's so cool to learn along with our children. Okay, so that was for Bible, and then, so we've been doing our English from the Roots Up, and this is what we use to put them in. Okay, so I just realized I've been totally doing it wrong, I think. So there's a day where they're supposed to look up their word in the dictionary, and I've just been having her look up the word that it means. Okay, so I'll give an example. If the word is philia, I have her look up love. So I'd have her look up love, friendship. I guess she was supposed to be looking up words that tied into like philia. So I'll go to the page and show you what words. And let me know if you are doing it a different way, because I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Okay, so the words that they give on here would be like philosopher, Philadelphia, philanthropist, but I feel like we go through this on the first day when she gets her new word, Greek word, and so it seems redundant to me to have her then look these up again. Moving on, she's still working through Handwriting Without Tears. I still really like this book, and I got an email from them that they're going to be having a class here in Oregon on how to teach children like K through 5th handwriting, and you end up getting like this certificate at the end. I guess it would be for if you were maybe a public school teacher or a private school teacher, or you were teaching classes or something. But I really want to do it, but it's kind of expensive. So let me know if you have done one of their classes. It looks like they've had quite a few, or they have quite a few available, and they have online courses, and they have these classes that you can take in person. They're like all day. But I'm really interested in that, because I feel like my kids struggle with handwriting, and I don't have the best handwriting. And so if I could be taught better how to teach handwriting, I feel like it would be a benefit for our homeschool. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. If you're using Handwriting Without Tears, and if you've taken any of their classes, and what you think. Moving on. Okay, so that was language arts. Okay, I've got a little bit more. We're still working through language lessons for today, and I've got to grab our writing skills. I still really like this one. We're getting through it. We truck along. We've never had a problem getting these lessons done. We are falling behind. We should have been to 26, and I think we're only to 22 or something. So we're a bit behind, and we've got to kind of pick it back up and get back to work. I think on the days where she has less, I need to be more diligent at saying, okay, we're going to do this. But I haven't been super great about doing that, so that's okay. We'll get it done. Okay, so we're to Gamma. She's working through it. She's already done this. I've got to keep looking at my notes. She was able to get through 2 whole lessons. So she's working through this quickly, and she's actually really enjoying it. She thought she wouldn't, but she is liking it. And I just saw on their website that they have this new accelerated math program for older kids that are still struggling with math facts. And I'm really interested in it because she still doesn't have her math facts down super great, and I never got them down super great, and so I have learned so much using Math-U-See, and I feel like it might be a great program for both of us to work through together. So anyways, so that was, our 3 layers. We got through Bible, language arts, I should say English, and math. Forgetting my own cake. Okay, so for the frosting and sprinkles, for science, we did not get to her science in the beginning book, unfortunately. It's just kind of hit or miss when we do it. So I decided I'll just be really diligent about us reading any science books that are either recommended or that I think that would go along with the lessons. And so we read this one, What is the World Made Of? I got a lot of these through Rainbow Resource, and I really like them. And so we read this one. And then for read alouds, we've started Treasures in the Snow. It's so good. It's so good. If you haven't read these, you need to get them. And now I want to go get all of her books. I think my kids do too, because they're really liking them. And they especially they're really engaged with this one. So that's been really fun. And we also, we can't find it now, of course. We finished The Golden Goblet. I'm so glad we finished it. It was well worth it. So if you're on the fence reading it, and if my review of it has been I don't know, go read it. It's a fun one. It takes a little perseverance because the chapters are long, but I thought the ending was excellent. So it was a really fun one to read. She's still working through her timeline. Woo! Yep, so we're still working through this, and it's coming along. This seems to have helped a lot of people, so I want to make sure I share that, we're still using it, and it's worked really well, and it's nice and easily. We can bring it with us, especially when we have to do school on the road or whatever, because it's nice and small. Okay, that was it for my 4th grader. My goodness, that was a lot. Okay, so on to my 1st grader, Mary Grace, learning God's story. To start out with for Bible, we're now down to just 1 day a week working through this, and it was about a bird. It was about the cuckoo bird, and so I decided to look through here if there was a cuckoo bird, and there wasn't. But I did find a story about a bird in a nest, since the cuckoo bird's known for pushing babies out, other little birds out of nests. I thought this was a nice poem to read, and I just really always like the art from Eric Carle. It's always so pretty. She's also working through her Bible reader, and she's doing really well with that. She's my one to give me a little more pushback, which I think is kind of 1st grade. It seems very familiar from when my oldest was in 1st grade. And so she's working, this is her Bible notebook. And so she did her pictures in there. They're coming along. We just used stickers when she didn't want to draw. And it's interesting, so they have the parent read the Bible story to them before they actually read it in the Bible reader, and then they're to summarize it. She really struggles with that. I'm noticing the comprehension side of it, so we've kind of slowed it down, and I'll read just smaller chunks of it at a time to help her be able to recall what I read. And one of the days this last week, she did not want anything to do with summarizing. And so I finally said, well, why don't you just draw a picture of what I talked about? And she totally did. So it's not, a glorious picture, but it was Adam and Eve and the snake and the tree, and she got the story. And so I took this as comprehension just fine. So she didn't say it verbally, but at least she drew it out, and sometimes battle's not worth it. So that's what we did there. She also has started on her timeline, so I have one for her as well. I'm not doing them together, even though they're the same pieces. And so this was her beginning. So I didn't put the line in this one yet, and I also have not put in the dates yet. So right now it's just totally blank other than that. So I didn't want to put the dates in yet because with my 4th graders, I messed up on the dates, so I figured I would just hold off until I know I've got to count through how many she needs for each time period. So there you go. So that was Bible. She's also learning for Bible, the books of the Bible. I really like how they summarize it in here, and so she does this and she just marks off as we read along which book of the Bible it is, and then we'll just say, we have a little song that we sing that we learned from Awana to help her memorize those. And let's see, so that was Bible and English. Okay, and on to math. Okay, she's really liking this math book. So next year I can't decide if I'm going to do Singapore math or if I will do Matthew C. I feel like she would do better with Singapore, so I may stick with that for her instead of going to Matthew C, but she is liking this complete book of math. And I am so far behind on the days of the week, or number of the day. Are you getting your number of the day done? Because I am not doing super at working through that. We are getting our calendar done, and she understands numbers and number placement, and so I don't feel too worried about it, but we are not doing number of the day, the coin cup, the bean cup. It's not getting done. I feel like by the time we get through language arts, she's kind of done with the day, and math I kind of have to hurry through, and she likes to just do the math pages and be done. And so I think I may just stick with that for her, and we'll have to see how it goes, especially when we get to day 100 and she'll count to 100. I'm pretty sure she can do that, so I'm not that worried, but we'll see. Okay, so for science, I'm still working through the science books. If you know, for 1st grade, it is these little Usborne books. So these little things outdoors, this is one of them, things outdoors. So we just read through whatever the lesson is, and today, or this week, was on volcanoes. So again, we didn't get to do an experiment because of our busyness, but we did read some volcano books. So Hill of Fire, I really recommend this one. My kids really like this, and you can find it on Amazon's Reading Rainbow book, or the show, and they'll read it to them if you don't have it, if you don't own the book, or if it's not at the library, you can pull it up, and it might even be on YouTube, but it's on Reading Rainbow. And then we read Volcanoes, Mountains That Blow Their Tops. That was another fun one. And so that was our science. We didn't do art. She is not loving the art book, so drawing with children. Unfortunately, we're not getting through it. I keep thinking, oh, I'll pick it back up and we'll do it, and we're not, so that's okay. This next week, the art appreciation starts, or art history. I'm not sure what you call it. And so with the art cards, if you get the deluxe, and those are really fun. We did those last year, or not last year, when my oldest was in 1st grade, and she really enjoyed them, and so now we're going to do them again this year. I'm going to use them for our lunchtime, and so it will be really fun. Okay, so that was all for my 1st grader. Okay, on to my pre-K-er Hannah, Voyage of Discovery. For Bible, she's working through this still, and so I added in the Springy Slingies Sling. So we have some arch books, so whenever they are relevant, I'll pull them out to go along with her stories, because they're always fun way to incorporate the Bible story, and we always read them aloud at lunch. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I try and share all the books that we read at lunchtime, because that's like our best time to get any picture books read aloud, because they're all pretty quiet and their little mouths and hands are busy, so they're not going to want to be doing anything else. Okay, and we also were able to read from here. It's been a while since I shared this one. I really love this book. But she learned about David and the giant, so we read that one. And it's in a nursery rhyme. And so this was really fun to put all together for learning about David. And she also learned about Ruth and Naomi, and she got to pick up little grain. We put spaghetti pieces out and she picked it up, and so that was really fun for her. And she's still really liking her little prayer basket that we made in week either 12 or 11. I can't remember now, or 13. Anyways, she's really enjoying that, and she wants to do it every day, and she prays for someone, and it's just so precious. I just love it. So that was for her Bible. She learned the letter J. So this was her little letter J. And I had jelly packets. And I was like, perfect, we'll put those on. So we squished them out, and she got to eat some jelly with crackers. And then we did this, and she kind of colored it like it was all over the place. And then I still like these Alpha Tails, so Jaguar's Jungleberry Jamboree. And they make jam and jelly. So that was perfect to go along with our jelly packets. I want to share her letter J, a little bin. So it was a jump rope, Jeep, look at this big old jellyfish that it came with. I don't even know where you would find this. A jet, and a jack. So tiny. Anyways, so those were fun for the letter J. I'm really liking these. I've tried to find something similar on Amazon to link, but I haven't been able to find anything. Maybe Rainbow Resources has something. I recommend looking there. These are just really fun to add, especially if you're going to be teaching more than one child, so if it's like not your last, because this was our second time using it, and I now have 2 more opportunities to use these, so I feel like they're worth it because they take up a lot of room. Okay, so she's also working through speech therapy, and she's trying to learn the k sound for K, because she says tay and snow, and so they do this like snake thing up their arm, like snow. And so anyways, she's going to be reevaluated for speech therapy in the spring, and she might graduate from it. I'm not sure though, because she doesn't have her K sound and S sound very good, and her G sound good. If you have any recommendations for speech therapy with these particular sounds, let me know, because I'd really like to be done with speech therapy. It's very helpful, but it's time consuming, and if I can help her during school to get these sounds down more concretely and quickly, that would be super. And lastly, we're reading through this, Richard Scarry's What Do People Do All Day. I really like this book. I feel like it's hit or miss with a lot of people, but I really enjoy Richard Scarry, and maybe it's because I grew up watching the cartoon and having the books myself. But she was able to write a letter to her grandparents, well, both her grandmas, and so that was really fun and sweet for her. And my dad had to go have a doctor's appointment. He's totally fine, but her and her little sister, they taped letters on their screen door because we live right next door to them. So they were able to do that for them, and then mail letters to her other grandparents, and so that was a lot of fun for her and her little sister. So that was all for my pre-care. Okay, last one. All aboard the animal train. Okay, so this is for my 3-year-old Abby. So we are to the obedience unit with talking about little bears, so she gets really excited whenever we see a bear on anything and read books about bears. Okay, so we read The Teddy Bear's Picnic this last week and The Biggest Bear, and I feel like we read more, but I'm not remembering. but these were two I found quickly. And let me know what you do with these little guys. Do you put them in a book? Do you make something with them? We just hang them up, and I have in the past made like her own little paper Bible, and then we put them in, and then it's in there for her to look at. And I think I might do that again. I just haven't yet. This week was fun because there was a lot of hands-on experiments with like making black, and then this 5 little bears swimming. We did little bears on a log with celery and peanut butter, and we put little raisins instead of ants on a log. They were bears on a log. And so she really liked that. I had never done that with my kids before. I don't know why, but they really like celery and peanut butter. And for some reason, I guess I thought they wouldn't like it, but surprisingly, they pretty much all did. I think 3 out of the 5. So that's always a win when at least the majority likes them, like something. So that's about it for the preschooler. I don't have a ton to share this week. She did like the little circle bears. You know, if you're doing this curriculum, they come with like little circle animals, and we hit them, and she wanted to hide them over and over and over and over and over and over again. So that was fun for her. I'm finding that she's getting the concepts pretty quick, so she's wanting to move a lot quicker than I am. And I know that that's the beauty of homeschooling, that you can move at your child's pace, but I'm wanting her to slow down because I'm afraid that if I push her too far quickly, we're going to get to a point where I can't explain this very well. Like if she gets to 1st grade, but she's only 5, I don't think she'll necessarily be ready for it. But maybe she would. I don't know. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do this next year. So that was a lot to share. This is a long video. I apologize. So thank you so much for watching. Here are some other videos to go check out. Here's a playlist of all of these weekly updates starting from week 6. I didn't think about making these until then. And then here is my timeline video. So go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. It's been helping a ton of people, and I'm so glad because it is so easy to make. So go make one yourself. So we'll see you at the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.